Welcome to the True Wealth Investors Real Estate Podcast. Creative investing strategies to help you build true wealth. I'm your host, Chad Harris. All right, everybody. So today we're talking about what it's like to be an entrepreneur. And specifically within real estate. At a recent mastermind retreat, we were talking through this concept, and it was going along with, I love the old stories of pioneers, right? And when you hear about the Oregon Trail, the people that traveled on the Oregon Trail, they really, it's an interesting process to think about what they went through, right? They walked away from everything in their past life. They really narrowed down their possessions to only what would fit on a wagon. And then they went on a trip that involved a massive sacrifice, massive risk. The odds of making it or the odds of dying on the trail were pretty good. A lot of people died on that trail. And so they were taking huge risks. Now, here's one thing that really interests me. They really didn't even know what Oregon looked like, right? So why would they give up their past life, and why would they take these massive risks to go on this great journey? And it was because they had a vision for what life would be like in Oregon. And land was free in Oregon, so they had the idea that their life would be much better, right? They would actually be a landowner. And that really resonates with me as a real estate investor. So a lot of time, when I started in real estate, I didn't know what the end looked like. I didn't know, thankfully, I didn't know how difficult the journey was going to be a lot of times. But the reason I was willing to do it was because I had a vision for what I wanted to create, and I had a vision for the life I wanted to have. And I thought the risk and the sacrifice would be worth it. So even though I didn't know exactly what it would look like, I had faith that it would be worth it in the end, and that the sacrifices along the way or the risks that we would be taking would all work out. And so that really resonates with me, because that is exactly like the Oregon Trail. And so a lot of it comes down to two things. One, vision. Do we as an entrepreneur have a vision for what we're trying to build? Because that is what makes it worth the risk, is the vision for what we're creating. Now, maybe your vision includes a certain amount of wealth. Maybe it includes a lot of freedom. Maybe it includes tons of time, all right? Time freedom. Most people I know, freedom is the number one thing they're pushing towards, and that was always my number one priority. I did not want somebody else dictating my life. I wanted the freedom to be with family when I wanted, work when I wanted, work on the things that I wanted to work on, and financial freedom where that wasn't a constant constriction, constant thing limiting my life. So whatever your passion is, I want you to be really clear on what that vision is, because when you start on this journey, or a lot of you are probably already on this journey, right? You've already made some sacrifices. You've already committed to moving forward in real estate. As you're going on the journey, it's going to be hard. There are going to be problems. If you haven't had them yet, they're coming. There are plenty of rivers and deserts and things on the way to building your vision, but you have to be really clear on the vision. What do you want? What do you want? Why is it going to be worth it in the end? Right? And then when those times are tough, you know that the risks are worth it. And then the second thing you really need to have is faith that you will see it through, right? Faith that you can get there, because there are a lot of people who have done it before, And as long as you are committed to continually moving forward and getting help along the way, you will get there. So you need to have a clear vision for what you're trying to build and why all the risk is worth it. And you need to have faith that you can get there. All right. Now, here's the really interesting thing is when you look at those pioneers, the people that left their previous life and started the journey in the wagon were not people qualified to live in the wilderness, right? They were generally coming from farms and towns, and they had a whole lot of creature comforts, and they hadn't gone through a whole lot of difficulty. But it was actually the journey in the wagon, the trail, that turned them into the people who could live in the wilderness, who were true frontier pioneers. And so I encourage you, build that vision. Know you may not be capable of it now, and that the journey is actually turning you into the person capable of handling it. Like steel being heated up and pounded in a forge. The journey may not be pleasant, but it is hardening you and making you capable of having that vision for your future. So many people have that vision and aren't willing to take the risk and go through the difficulty to actually live it. So I encourage you, be clear on your vision, have faith that you can live it, you can create it, you can get there, and know that whatever difficulties you endure on the way to it are part of making you the person that can have it. All right. I hope that's encouraging to you. Be clear on your vision and keep building that dream life one door at a time. And we'll see you next week. We are adding new episodes every week, so make sure and subscribe and check out all of our content at truewealthinvestors.com.